Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, India's ambitious mission to completely reinvent its agriculture. We're talking about a massive shift from farming based on, tradition and gut feeling, to a system that's driven by data and tech, and it's set to impact millions and millions of lives.
Okay, let's get right into it. This single line from India's economic survey might look a little dry, but trust me, it's so much more than that. It's basically a mission statement. It signals a fundamental change in how the country plans to feed over 1 billion people and, of course, support the millions who work the land.
And that's a huge question, right? Because this isn't just about farming techniques. This is about people's livelihoods, it's about food security for the entire nation, and really, the future of rural India. The stakes are just immense, so the strategy has to be equally ambitious.
To really get why this digital mission is so urgent, we first have to understand the pressures that are forcing this whole pivot. The old way of doing things is, quite frankly, running out of road.
For decades, the goal was simple: more. Just use more water, more fertilizer, more seeds to get more crops. But with land and water resources getting scarcer by the day, that model has hit a wall. So the new focus is all about being smarter, not just bigger, making every single drop of water and every grain of fertilizer count for more.
Now, this slide here really puts a number on the problem. This ratio, it shows the imbalance of the big three nutrients in the soil: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You can see farmers have been using way too much nitrogen. And the result? Widespread soil degradation, which actually makes it harder to grow crops in the long run.
And that soil problem we just talked about, well, it leads directly to this, the yield gap. What that means is, despite all those inputs, Indian farms are often less productive for certain key crops when you compare them to global averages. It's a blaring signal that just adding more stuff isn't working anymore. It's time for a totally different approach.
So, facing all these challenges, what's the plan? Well, the vision isn't just to patch up the old system. Nope, it's to build a new one, pretty much from the ground up, based on technology and community.
So the goal is really this two-part transformation. First, make farming smarter using data and technology. And second, make development more inclusive by empowering citizens to lead the change in their own communities. That's a concept they call Jan Bhagidari, or citizen partnership.
And this is the crucial part. This isn't just some top-down government mandate. The whole strategy relies on empowering local institutions. We're talking about enabling women's self-help groups to build businesses and become high earners, giving village councils real authority in planning, and using digital tools so citizens themselves can keep everything accountable.
Okay, so let's look at how this vision is actually being built. It's not about a single app or some new gadget. It's about creating the fundamental digital infrastructure that can power a whole new generation of agricultural services. At the very heart of this is the Digital Agriculture Mission, or DAM. Its main job is to build what's called a digital public infrastructure, a DPI, but one that's specifically for agriculture.
Honestly, the best way to understand this is to think of actual highways. The government builds the roads, right? But it's private companies and people who create all the businesses that use them, like trucking companies, restaurants, gas stations. The dam is doing the same thing, but for data. It's building the digital highways so that innovators can then create countless new tools and services for farmers on top of them.
And this slide breaks down the core pillars of those digital highways perfectly. First up, you have AgriStack, a unified database of who the farmers are and what land they're farming. Next, there's a decision support system to give them tailored advice. And finally, detailed soil maps to tackle that fertilizer imbalance we saw earlier, allowing for true precision farming.
So that's the big plan. But what does all this tech actually look like when it reaches the villages? How does it change lives on the ground?
One of the most powerful examples is a scheme called Swamitva. Drones are literally flying over villages, mapping every single property with incredible precision. This data is then used to give out official property cards, over 27 million so far, giving people a legal title to their homes for the very first time. Think about that. It's not just a piece of paper. It's a real asset they can use to get loans and build a better future.
And get this, the drones aren't just for mapping. The Namo Drone Didi initiative is training women from these self-help groups to become certified drone pilots. They then provide services to farmers, like spraying nutrients. This is huge. It empowers women with cutting-edge skills and creates entirely new economic opportunities right there in the village.
This tech is also being used to strengthen local democracy. Platforms like E6.3 Swaraj are digitizing the work of village councils, making their plans, their budgets, and their spending totally open for anyone to see. It gives citizens a direct window into how their money is being spent, which creates a whole new level of transparency and accountability.
You know, all this digital transformation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's part of a much bigger push to upgrade rural infrastructure across the board. Just look at the Jal Jeevan mission for clean water. As you can see here, the number of rural homes with a tap water connection has just exploded, from around 32 million to over 157 million in just a few years. Better data and digital tools are helping make massive projects like this happen.
So when you step back and connect all these different pieces, from soil health to drone pilots to clean water, you start to see the outline of a really comprehensive new blueprint for rural India.
And the crucial point here is that it all ties back to these three interconnected goals. First, driving efficiency on the farm to close that yield gap. Second, ensuring inclusion by empowering the most marginalized communities, especially women. And third, improving governance through transparency and data. It's really a holistic approach to rural development. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Building these incredibly powerful digital tools is a massive undertaking, for sure. But maybe, just maybe, the even greater challenge lies ahead, making sure that every farmer, every village council member, and every single citizen has the skills and the access they need to actually use them effectively. The digital highways are being paved, but the journey to full digital literacy, well, that's the next critical frontier.